Hello, my name is Jimmy Vegas and welcome to this, the 11th in a series of video tutorials for Unity 3D. Before we go into anything within this episode, we quickly need to fix a few things from the last episode. I received a few comments saying people couldn't get close to their little village that we built in the last tutorial. That is my fault really. If you click on at least one of the buildings, you'll see these green lines. That was when we added the box collider, but we didn't change the actual size of the box collider. We left it at its default of 111, but because our scale was 100, 100, 100, it ended up like this. So all we need to do is change the size down here on box collider, and we'll put 0.1, 0.1, and 0.1. And with a bit of luck, we hopefully, it's not perfect, so we'll just need to play around a little more to get the size just right. So it looks like we'll put, let's see, on the Z we'll have 0.08. That looks okay. And on the X we'll have 0.13, maybe 4. We'll keep it as 3. There we go. So 0.13, 0.1, 0.08. So if we click on this one already seems to be set quite nicely. So it should really just be this one. So 0.13, 0.1, and 0.08. That should do the trick. So with any luck, everything seems to be okay. So if we press play now, we should be able to hopefully walk over here and into our village. So for all those who commented, hopefully this should fix any problems you have. Yeah, that looks just fine. The fence collider works. Yeah, that looks fine. So you'll notice here something very interesting, which is quite useful for what we're about to do. We can't get into our house, which brings me on to something which we are going to do today. Today we are going to input some doors here to set ourselves up for the next tutorial. So to go into what we do today, so we do the doors, we'll also put a few more fences around, and we'll look at building maybe a small forest, as we've got some tree assets to import. So first of all, if we zoom in on this house right here, and let's kind of zoom in on the door, about there, that looks fine. Let's see, let's have a look at the hierarchy quickly. It's getting a little messy, but we'll leave it for now. So here in Village 002, click down, and you'll see everything we have for this village here. So go to Game Object, Create Other, Cube. I'm not sure where that cube has ended up. There. Okay, so let's pull our cube from under the terrain. Apologies, it's not moving properly. Okay, pull it this way. And all we have to do now is if we position the cube in the doorway, Let's see, about there should do it. Now all we do is we right click, rename, and we'll call this Village Door 001. Now we'll change the scale. The x-axis we will change to, let's see, 0.25 to make it thinner. Just pull it out a touch more. We'll change, let's see, x-axis, sorry, the z-axis to 1.5 maybe a touch more. 6, 7, 5, and let's pull it this way slightly. And now we will change the y-axis to 3. I think 3 might be just right, to be honest. Maybe a bit too big. Let's quickly change it to 2.9. Is that still too big? No, I think that should do the trick. Okay, so we have what appears to be a blank door. All I'm going to do now is here, hierarchy, drag this into Village 002. So it goes there. So down here in your asset window, let me see. Not sure where we can put it. So we'll put everything in small town. Seems we put all our FBXs there. So we'll in small town. All you need to do is drag and drop the wooden door asset into Unity as usual. Now, if you want to have your own wooden door asset, head over to Google. If you want this particular one, you can find it on our website. As always, assets, scripts, and anything we use in these tutorials are available for free on our website. So we'll try applying this texture straight to our cube. Not perfect, but it does the trick. So if we zoom in a little, we can see that our door doesn't quite sit as we want it. So let's drag it up slightly. Set it back slightly. I'm not going to be too precise. You can be as precise as you want. After all, it is your game. Let's put it about there, I think. Okay, that looks okay for now. Like I say, it's not perfect, but you can make it as perfect as you want. All I'm doing now is dragging our character controller over into our village, just so it makes everything a little bit easier when we press play, so we don't have to walk for miles. So as you can see, we now have a door. You can see through like that. What we'll also be doing in possibly the next tutorial is putting windows in here. It's essentially we don't really want to see through our house, because next tutorial we will be building the inside, but we'll be making this door a warp point, so you can go into the door and into a separate room. So for now, that door looks just fine. What we'll do now is the door itself, I'm going to do the good old duplicate, so hold control, press D, and I'm going to bring it out, and I'm going to use it for this house just here. So shift it along, shift it inwards, get it to where we need it, about there. Just needs to be moved along a little more. There we go. Again, not perfect, but it never really is in these tutorials of time restrictions. Okay, so there we have our doors, and like I say, the door on this house as well, we'll be using these to kind of go into new houses that we create. So let me see here. This fence, should we create a few more just to border off our village? Yeah, let's duplicate this, shift it outwards and along. The good old duplication method never fails. It is very handy when you're creating a lot of assets. So if we just align that about there, just create a few more fences. In fact, let's rotate that on the y-axis to 0. And so I'll delete these. There we go. Duplicate that one. So if you want, you can build your fence all the way around your village and do whatever with it. To be honest, I'll probably do that before the next tutorial. So if you come to the next tutorial and you find there's fences everywhere, it's just because I've duplicated these to enclose our village. Okay, so for now, on your hierarchy, make sure everything is closed, like so. And the next thing we'll do is over here, where there is blank space, let's see, we'll create a sort of a forest. So on terrain, on your painting tool, let's see, should we have this one? We'll have this one. And I'm just going to paint a quick path all the way around here. Let's see, down here maybe. Across this way. Maybe up here. Right. In fact, we may as well join our village up. There's no harm in that. So select again. Let's see. Here, here, here. And just join here. That should do the trick. Okay. So, if you remember, we added these trees in a couple of tutorials ago. I'm going to duplicate this one and pull it outwards. And on the scale up here, let's see, change it to 1.5, 1.5 and 1.5. Just to make it a little bigger. Let's pull it here. Let's duplicate again and pull it maybe here. Let's take this tree, duplicate it, and pull it over here somewhere, maybe about there. Okay, so you'll notice we have a lot of trees now. Let's see. What we'll do is try and think. So if we go to Game Object, and let's see, we'll just create empty, and we'll leave it here. Right click, rename, and we'll just call this Forest 001. So everything we've created in these big trees, just drag and drop into forest. I think we created some trees in our other village as well, but for to stop everything being a mess, I am just going to drag and drop them in our forest folder anyway. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, next what I'll do, so we don't really have a forest full of the same tree, what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to create here another folder, and we'll just call this one same forest. So in our forest folder, you can get your own tree assets from pretty much anywhere, to be honest. If you Google assets for Unity, you'll be able to find them. I've taken this particular one from a website you can find in our description. I think the name of it is called Allen Tree, so the credit goes to the person who originally made the tree. So we drag and drop the entire folder here into Unity. Give it just a few seconds to import. You'll notice a folder. In that folder, you'll find these. This is the one we want for now. So if you drag and drop this into your Unity game, let's say about there, you'll notice it's relatively small. The same way the building's quite small in our little village. Over here on the scale, we'll change it to, let's see, maybe 50, 50, 50. It has gone a little funny there, hasn't it? You'll notice the leaves have definitely gone rather strange. Let's see, if we go to here, go to nature, and let's tree creator leaves. It's not entirely worked as intended, that. It's gone a bit funny. Oh, but not to worry. When you play it, it looks as though it'll render correctly. As you can see, that tree looks fairly decent. From one side, but certainly not the other. That is a magical tree. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure why that happens. That is very, very, very strange indeed. For now, what we'll do, let me see. Try changing this back to, let's say, diffuse. There we go, that looks somewhat better. It looks like that now, but when you press play, it still looks crazy, but for now it looks better. So we do have a problem with this tree, which is good, because it gives me a chance to try and figure out what's wrong with it. Very strange. Okay, so for now, on the tree, down here, on sample leaves 2, change this back to nature and tree creator leaves. Let's just change the camera angle around. I'm going to change the scale of it as well. Let's see, to 25, 25, 25. Let's see. Okay, so we'll duplicate the tree, pull it out this way, duplicate, pull out this way, duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Okay, what we'll do now is all these ones we created, drag into forest, just here. Like so. What we'll do now is we'll rotate. So if we here on the X, just press, oops, not the X, we'll keep that as minus 90. It is the Z axis we want, sorry. If we change it to 90, duplicate, pull out, only slightly, rotate 90, and press play. So from this angle, it looks somewhat decent. It is very strange as to why the trees do that. It's as though they're 2D. Incidentally, if anyone knows why that's happening, let me know. I'd be thrilled to know why. In the meantime, I'll discover why that is happening. So again, let's just duplicate a few more of these trees. Let's rotate some. Let's do 180 on that one. Take this one, also do that one, 180. Do this one, 180. And we'll do this one, 270. And this one, 270. So I'll duplicate this one. Let's bring it this way a little. Let's duplicate this tree. Bring it over here. Duplicate again over here. A little bit more duplication. Let's duplicate this tree and bring it here. And let's rotate this 90. Okay, so here it looks like we've actually got a little bit of a forest. Now, although the trees are not effectively working properly, it still looks like a forest from the distance. Not too bad. So as we get closer, it still looks fairly decent like a forest. So what I'm going to do is this entire section of forest I'm going to duplicate and pull out to there. I'll duplicate again and I'm going to pull it out to about there. Move it back maybe slightly. And I'll duplicate once again and I'll move it over here and across to about there. Let's duplicate again and pull it out here. Say about there. So let's press play. And we have more of a forest look. Not perfect, but it'll do the trick. So if you remember, our old village that we came out of is right there. So when you do come out, you'll see all this, which looks fine for now. So even though the tree hasn't worked correctly, we have somewhat proved that the tree assets can be imported. You can use any tree asset. You can use this crazy tree if you want to from the website. If you don't want to, go ahead and find your own. I may go and find a different asset to use. Just kind of help us a little more rather than have crazy trees. But I think we'll leave that tutorial just here for now. I'm just quickly tidying up our hierarchy, keep everything together. Now, one thing to note, if you are running on a slower machine, it may start lagging at this point due to the amount of objects within the gaming world now. For now, the best thing to do is maybe delete a few of the trees that we have here. Don't have so many. Or you can get rid of this log cabin if you don't want it, just here. That will increase the amount, decrease the amount of objects in your game world, and hopefully give you a bit more memory. Okay, so the next episode we will be looking at building inside one of these houses, most likely this one. We'll import a few little objects for inside. And we'll also be doing a bit more programming, as we'll need a script to teleport us inside our building. So, like I say, we'll leave it there for now. If you've got any insight as to these crazy trees, let me know. If not, we'll leave them as they are. Although they only appear on one side, visual effects, they're not too bad. So, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.